Hello again, YouTube land. Pardon my glasses, but as I talk and record, I'm handling several other things, not the least of which is doing our laundry, answering emails, planning what to make for a family barbecue, cleaning the house. It's a lot on one plate. I'm recording now because I want you to hear what I'm typing in response to this particular email. Ow. So, I went to a pre-screening event for Whole Foods, which I mentioned in yesterday's podcast, day before, something like that. Earlier this week, whatever, my last one. And I got another email just this afternoon, it would seem, from the same guy at the same location at Workforce One, inviting me to the exact same event, except this one will be taking place tomorrow. And I'm writing back to him in the most professional and polite manner in which I can. Dear beep, thank you for this invite, but I attended one earlier this week, that meaning pre-screening. As a word of helpful suggestion, your mass emails should be much more clear about the fact that an applicant's current CV should reflect recent experience in the field they have applied for. ... I.E. Produce, such as mine was. I have extensive background and experience in many things which will not fit on a one-page professional resume. I was dismayed to learn at my event that my experience was essentially irrelevant because it was not listed on the sheet your associate had in front of her. I look forward to attending any future events from which I feel confident I will find employment. Thank you. Signed, my name, and send. Alright, that's done. What else? Family barbecue email, took care of that. Had to ask my mother-in-law a question because I asked her if I should make or bring anything, and I tend to get asked to make the desserts in my family, whether it's my husband's family or my family, and that's fine. I'm good at desserts, chocolate is my forte, but I wanted to make sure with her about whether or not to make basic chocolate chip cookies or chocolate cookies with chocolate chips in them, which are not exactly the same animal. If you ask me, more chocolate is never a bad thing. So, check my... Oh dear God. My husband is very chatty on Facebook. He needed me to explain my old school lunch of beanie weenies, which if you've never had it, you should look up. It's ridiculously simple and surprisingly satisfying. You grill off a few hot dogs, depending on how many people you're feeding. For me, it's 2 or 3. And you mix it into beans of your choice, although I would suggest it be ones that have gravy or sauce involved with them. The canned ones usually is what this recipe is referring to. He also left a adoring letter, note, comment on a picture of a jar of pickles that he made last night, spicy ones with curry powder, pepper flakes, sliced jalapeno, etc., etc. Basically, he can't wait to eat them. And I wrote him back as if I was the jar of pickles. Only if you behave and be patient, you might be allowed to eat me this Saturday. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, among other things. So I'm trying to get stuff done around the house, and this, the whole pre-screening event thing it pissed me off. It really pissed me off. On the upside, I have been trying to alter my diet according to the Bob Harper skinny rules, of which I've only managed to get through the first 10, and tried to implement any portion therein. And I am down, 3 pounds since Monday? But that's because it's all basically dietary changes that I've made. I've had so much else to do. I have had no time to do any additional working out beyond the amount of walking and physical exertion I get done trying to accomplish what I need to accomplish. So we made Sam's spicy pickles. We also made a batch of Alton Brown style bread and butter pickles, missing one or two things because we couldn't find pickling spice. Actually, I found it today, but we made them last night. And also, I left out the turmeric. I'm not terribly worried, though, about how they'll come out, because, I mean, there's not a huge amount of way you can really screw up pickles. And I freely admit I say that, having never made a batch prior to last night. But I'm relatively confident in this assumption, knock on wood. My God, what else? I don't know. I'm trying to get things together. I spent an hour today at the hospital with a friend of ours, who we found out late Sunday had been in the hospital for about a month and a half on a ventilator. Obviously being unconscious and in a medically induced coma while on the ventilator, he couldn't let us know himself what was going on. But when he texted me on Sunday and told me what had happened, we basically got our act together, and within an hour we were over there visiting. That was Sunday. Today is Wednesday. Apparently in the last 24 hours, things have drastically improved for him. He is now officially off the ventilator, breathing and swallowing on his own. When I visited today, he was allowed to have his first solid meal because they removed, well, not solid, it was mechanically softened, where it all looks like baby food puree. But he wasn't on the feeding tube anymore, which is a process I don't think anyone should ever have to go through unless you have abso-frackin-lutely no choice. And having been in a coma, he didn't. But I'm happy for him that he's improving. It's been raining like a bitch most of today, and the humidity is making every last thing in my house that can condensate, including my never-ending glass of ice water. What else? Oh, I don't even know. This isn't going to be a very long posting, I guess. She said at the 9-minute mark. I'm going to get back to doing the laundry, but I will let you know how the pickles turned out. We're not going to be able to crack into them until Saturday, Sunday at the earliest. So if you have me on Facebook or Twitter, that's where you should be looking for any updates or pictures of these things in the interim. Yeah. Okay. My Twitter handle is @LadyEnigma, if no one could tell. Generally speaking, across the board, I try to have all of my screen names and relevant links the same within a certain latitude, since Lady Enigma is my pen name, pseudonym, whatever you want to call it. Alright. I'm going to get back to having 3,000 or 4,000 things to do, and I'll check back in with you when I have time.